Hello everyone, my name is Madalina Chites and I'm going to present a paper based on a study conducted with three other colleagues from West University of Timișoara in Romania, Dumitru Tucan, Ana Maria Pop and Loredana Bercoci. The title of our presentation today is Writing Transition, a Corpus-Supported Study of the Freshmen's Written Argumentation Competence Building. In our study, we combine our observations on the writing competences students bring from high school when they enter university with empirical research where we have collected data to contrast the two writing levels. The aspects considered in our presentation today are a brief introduction on the way student writing evolves from pre-university to university stages. We will then explain how writing is used for learning in high school versus university. We will introduce the two sets of data, the corpora NoviceRO and LitRO, and continue by presenting main results and tendencies in writing skill development. Before presenting the data, it is important to understand why writing is such a relevant topic in the Romanian educational system, both before and during higher education studies. First of all, children have to write a lot, ever since they learn how to write. If composition or free writing is popular, let's say in primary education, then started with secondary lower education and secondary upper education, meaning high school, more and more prescriptive writing is required, which means that pupils are given sets of rules and a rich body of theories dedicated to writing specific genres, such as literary analysis or argumentation papers. This makes life a bit harder for students, because when they come to university, they need to be more independent and use knowledge integratively. Moreover, in Romania, since the adoption of the Bologna process in 2004, students have to write a paper in order to graduate from university. It's either a bachelor or master's thesis. This all means that students need excellent writing skills in order to be successful during education cycles. Let us now give you some details on writing in different settings.
It's my turn now to speak about how students are practicing writing in high school and how they experience the transition to university writing. In high school, students are writing a lot of text, usually in Romanian language and literature classes. Text like descriptions, summaries, character portrayals, reading reports, and so on. But they are required frequently to write something that is called an argumentative essay. This argumentative essay receives so much attention at high school because it forms part of the graduation exam at the end of high school, that is baccalaureate in Romania. Writing this, students have to express a perspective on a specific topic. Usually they have to write a literary text analysis. Of course, they are expected to apply their personal or cultural experiences in establishing their arguments, and they have to prove some critical thinking abilities. Besides all this, as a specific rhetorical requirement, they are expected to use textual connectors correctly. Of course, these rhetorical automatisms have consequences regarding the quality of the writing skills of the students entering the university. Recently, research conducted by academics from the West University of Timișoara, interested in studying the various forms of university writing, emphasized this first-year students' rather precarious writing skills. One of the aims of the research was to detail the particularities of the Romanian traditional writing model, like implicitness, mimetism, lack of theoretical and methodological reflection, some other things too. But the studies also pleaded for the introduction of academic writing courses in the university curriculum and for developing this discipline, that means academic writing, as an instrument for improving the research and the communication skills of the students doing a BA or MA degree. At the Faculty of Letters, students who wish to study Romanian as one of their major or minor specialization, and many of them have English as their minor specialization, must pass an entrance exam with the given task of a written essay of approximately 500 words. The aim of the essay is to assess the capacity of the future students of close reading literary texts, formulating arguments in interpretation, and writing correctly and articulately about all this. The topic of the essay is the textual analysis of a literary text not studied previously but authored by one of the writers studied in high school. The specific requirements are formulated inside the exam paper as a suggestion for the participants to structure their essay. They are required to identify the type of discourse, to describe the formal characteristics of the text, to identify a theme and formulate an opinion regarding the general meaning of the text, and so on. Some of the answers given to this exam will form the first corpus of this paper. Entering the university, the first-year students will usually have to write similar essays as individual working tasks inside the study of various disciplines. But this type of essay could be also an assessment method used by teachers at the end of the semesters. For example, one of the general courses compulsory for the first-year students is Introduction to Literary Theory. Its main goal is to offer a general perspective about literature and a systematic presentation of the necessary instruments needed to study and critically discuss literary texts. Literary theory is also a discipline that aims to familiarize the first-year students with the specific language of literary and cultural studies. And the final examination paper for this discipline includes a written essay quite similar to the entrance exam described above. Here also were included in the formulation of the task the suggestions concerning the structure of the essay. The students are required to analyze, to describe, to analyze and interpret the text, to describe the particularities of the text, to analyze the specific textual elements like figures of speech, the construals of its semantic cohesion. And they have to write an argumented interpretation based on their analysis.
The data analyzed in this study was compiled into two corpora. The NoviceRO corpus comprises 30 essays written as part of the university entrance exam on topics related to literary works studied in high school, amounting to 10,119 words in total, that is 2,343 types. The LitRO corpus also contains 30 essays written by freshmen as part of the summative examination of a literary theory class. It is made up of 10,808 words in total, that is 2,411 types. The texts selected to be included in the corpus were randomly chosen, irrespective of the marks awarded to the students for their performance. The 30 essays in the second corpus, that is LitRO, were selected according to the students' major and minor. That is, their major was Romanian studies and their minor was English studies. In order to perform the corpus-based analyses, we use the online concordance and visualization tool called Voyant Tools. This tool features, the main tool features used were Cyrus, terms, trends, phrases, contexts, and correlations. Our conclusions are based on frequency of occurrence and co-occurrence of types, tokens, as well as n-grams and other collocations.
At the faculty.
After analyzing the two sets of data, the following results could be obtained. In most of the entrance exam papers, students follow instructions given in high school. For instance, expressions for genre definitions. We have 37 instances of the pattern belong to, in Romanian aparține. They correlated often with the word genre or literary movement, which means expressions like this paper belongs to the genre were quite often. In the first year writing, some patterns change. Less definitions, only 9 belong expressions compared with 39 in the papers, entrance exam papers. We can also notice a higher lexical diversity and a better use of terminology. And now, let's move on to the last part of the presentation, conclusions. To summarize our study, its aim was to contrast high school norms with first-year university writing norms. Data, we had 2 written assignment corpora that we compiled ourselves. In point on linguistic patterns, we could say that standard phraseology taught in high school as a must-use list for literary text analysis, which was highly frequent in the NoviceRO corpus, was replaced by a tendency to focus on argumentation itself rather than on the linguistic markers that shape it. There was a drastic reduction of arguments that refer to the author. And then, transition from high school to university writing brings about transformations in point of lexical diversification and density, sentence conciseness, and an improvement in the overall academic writing style. As pedagogical considerations, we would have ideas such as freshman writing can be corrected to move away from prescriptive writing norms prevalent in high school in the direction of opinionative writing, and that the transition process towards improved academic writing can be assessed with the help of a contrastive corpus approach, like we did in our study. This being said, we are happy to conclude that using new teaching methods at the university does have a visible and positive impact on student argumentative writing. For more information on other projects and research using corpora for applied studies, please visit the page of